Hey guys, it's Michelle here with AFTERBUZZ, and we are covering the Grammys 2017. It's the night of the mothers, and one mother in particular wants Queen Bee to be hers.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, it's me. I was wondering if after all these years you'd like to meet.
And awards. Yes, guys, Adele was a big winner tonight. All about the moms.
Clean sweep, absolutely.
Yes, the moms were information.
Oh, I see that Beyonce plug.
Yes, I was plugging like Adele, plug Beyonce. Hey guys, welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV's Grammys 2017. I'm Michelle Maidson. You can find me on Instagram at Michelle_MaidisonTV and also on Twitter at MICH_MaidisonTV. And I'm joined by the lovely...
Hey guys, my name is Brooke Lacey. This is my first time coming to you live from AFTERBUZZ. You can find me on all social media. Ta-da! You can find me on all social media at Brooke Lacey H.
Oh, we should have played Like a Virgin.
Touched by the very first time.
I mean, hey,
Where
Madonna.
was Madonna tonight?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure she was there. I'm sure she was.
She was there picking up her new boo. Or no, he hasn't been born yet. My bad. Yes, but another Grammy legend. So yes, 2017 Grammys. I mean, how did you think James Corden did?
You know
First
what?
and foremost.
I gotta say, I'm a big fan. I'm a big Carpool Karaoke fan. But a lot of people don't know he's really, prior to this like late night show, he's got a really good past. He was a Tony Award winner in 2012, and
Tony.
I know, yeah. And so I have a lot of respect for him, and I'm a big fan. So I think he pulled through it.
I could definitely see him doing this again. I actually want to see him on other award shows. Like he's like that. He's like Adele. He's the guy that you want to be friends with because you could bring him anywhere.
Like I want to sing karaoke with
everybody.
him.
Yeah, and he knows all the songs.
I know, no, and he really has such a beautiful voice, I think, and he's always like plugging those little harmonies in. You know, he's.
I love him. He's like a big kid. I can't
like a big teddy bear, right?
Yeah. His intro was awesome. So yeah, good job. I think he did a great job of carrying the show.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I completely agree. And I hope, like you're saying, we're already predicting next year's, it'll be the 60th. The big
Oh,
60.
that's going to be big.
That's going to be amazing. So hopefully we'll be in the same position next year and we'll be like, hey, remember when? But yeah, I hope they bring him back, and like you're saying, more shows to come. So.
Yeah, go ahead and just give him a little contract, guys. You know, just sign him up for a couple more years and just make that happen.
Yeah, and James, if you're listening, you want to come have a seat with us,
or give me a job. Yeah, how about that? I got student loans to pay off. I need that money, honey. I'm not gonna lie. So aside from James, okay, so he opened the show. He gave us, you know, his rap game's fire. You know. I was actually surprised he did a little bit of political plug, which was a theme throughout tonight.
And then J-Lo picked it up, and
J-Lo is not someone that you ever hear her making any kind of squeak about anything. So I was also very surprised.
Yeah, and I think she did it in a very tasteful, classy, like
it was
subtle
undertone, yeah.
undertone. And
it was definitely no Meryl Streep.
Politics aside, that dress, she.
Oh, Jesus.
Talent and legs for days.
J-Lo has the perfect Cinderella glass slipper shoe.
I know.
And I need it in my life. I don't know. I don't care if we are the same size or not. I'm going to squeeze my big pinky toe in there, J-Lo.
Those
take
shoes
the shoes,
everything. I'll borrow the dress.
And you got to take the thing off, right?
Yeah. So tomorrow, we'll do a little plug here. We're actually going to have a fashion coverage of the Grammys tomorrow night on AFTERBUZZ. But just a little side note, I love the dress, stunning, beautiful. But I wasn't quite sure how I felt about the big puff,
the fluff thing.
Big fluff thing.
It probably itched a lot, but I actually loved it.
Yeah, and I like you were saying. I know you mentioned. I think maybe it was the hair. Like if the hair had been like slicked back into where it could have been more attention on the puff ball, if that's a technical term. Now it is.
Don't ask me. I'm not a fashionista. I don't know. It's just a thing, and I like it.
Yeah, I think. I don't know though. I think it could have been more focused on. She already had so much going on with the leg and the. Anyway, that's fashion talk. So
we could talk a little fashion with a little costume. Was there any other looks that costumes, I should say, not the fashion because that's what you're gonna do tomorrow, but costumes as far as performances, anything that struck you?
Costume-wise, I gotta say, I actually loved Bruno Mars.
His Prince
for
get out the
Prince.
Purple Rain.
The
His pants need to be a little
eyeliner.
tighter though.
Yeah.
The pants did need to be a little tighter, and you need to have on the little shoe with a little bit more of the heel, and he would have got it. And then the hair needed a little bit more jerry curled. For those who don't know, that was like an 80s style that black people wore to make your hair curly and like
But
wet.
he had the eyeliner going on. I noticed that.
Yes, he looked more Egyptian than Prince. But I appreciated his try, and I really did think that he did. I didn't even know he played. I felt like a little bad because I had to ask you. I was like, I didn't know he played the guitar that well.
He's phenomenal. I just, first of all, I think he's just
talent, just oozing talent.
Talent, looks. If he was a
Everything.
little taller,
And you didn't have a boyfriend.
Cause
I hope your boyfriend's not listening. Unless that's your hall pass. Is that your hall pass?
No, it's my hall pass.
Okay.
Yeah, he knows. Him, and I know I'm gonna get judged when I say this, but I tend to have a thing for. I'm a little over 5'9".
Well, you're a model, so.
No, but I tend to have a thing I've noticed for like guys that can sing and are slightly shorter. Because Bruno Mars is 5'4". I don't know, like
Brooke, I think you just gave a whole lot of guys a whole lot to look up. They're gonna be okay. Your Twitter and Instagram are probably gonna be slammed. They're like, "What? I'm 5'3" and I could sing. I sang in my 5th grade play."
Oh no!
Yeah.
I probably did sing in my 5th grade play, but no. And then I also I'm a big Justin Bieber fan. I know that's gonna get.
It's okay.
But yeah, he was missing tonight. He was nominated for 4 Grammys, which I think the people that won, I got to give him credit. But I also, regardless of your opinion on Justin Bieber, I think he is incredibly talented. I think he can dance, he can sing, he writes, he plays instruments. I mean,
he writes.
Yeah, he writes most of his stuff. So I think I know he's
putting them coins, Justin.
I know he's got a bad rep for having a bit of an attitude, but
oh Jesus,
we all do on certain days, right? Like,
okay. First and foremost, the Grammys is like the Oscars of the music industry. It's Grammys. It's like, ooh, it's up there. It's one of those organizations that, as an artist, I'm sure a lot of people, may not him and Kanye, aspire to be recognized by. So I think, like you were saying, regardless of your beliefs, you have to respect the organization of what they've done. Next year will be their 60th anniversary.
Yeah.
And they have preserved music and the people and the legacy of it. And as there was, it's giving the plug tonight about the Grammy Music Cam and trying to get money for that. Like they're the organization that helps protect our music aside from us, the listeners. So I think you need to respect it from that perspective. I definitely understand where Justin is coming from about this. Maybe the system's a little antiquated and it may not necessarily represent us today, but that's why you get involved in the system.
Yeah,
I'm not, you get involved in it and you help to try to upgrade it or change it or have them see differently. However, you're saying the solution is never to, just like in politics, is never to disappear and just
bury your head.
Yeah, and just to throw stones at it. It's to, okay, I'm going to get involved and change it. So that's my little 2 cents.
No, absolutely. And just in case listeners were a little confused, because I was like, where's Justin? I was looking forward to, to seeing him. And yeah, he is actually against what the Grammys stand for and just doesn't think that it does an accurate that it's
accurate representation
of
today's
and so I, like you're saying, I respect that, but then I also see where we won't get into the politics of it, but
well, I mean, you can with me, but we know they want to hear about the Grammys, so we're not gonna...
so that's so Justin and Bruno aside, let's talk about live performances.
Yes,
because they were definitely very live this evening.
Very live. I am tithering. I'm underwhelmed for the most part. I was very underwhelmed. Like I was more underwhelmed by performances, but at the same time, I was excited about the messages people were sending. If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
it was like
okay. So one of our performances that we spoke about was Katy Perry. And I was trying to understand the visual representation of what she was doing, and I was really trying to connect the dots. I'm not sure about you guys, hashtag us, look out for us on AfterBuzz on Instagram and Twitter and let me know what you guys think. But I was trying to connect the dots, and you had a great perspective of what you thought was going on.
Yeah, so Katy Perry just released her newest single a few days ago. It's Chained to the Rhythm. love the song. I'm a huge Katy cat, and I'm loving the new blonde hair. But
I couldn't recognize her with the glasses and the blonde hair. I was like,
yeah,
what is that?
she's really coming back, and I've been waiting for it. But I think if you haven't heard the song, she's really, and Katy's a big, obviously a big. She's really using this whole political, uproar to make a change and to use her voice, which I think is great. But I think the song is definitely about being kind of just living this like cookie cutter, white picket fence, black and white kind of boring lifestyle.
And trying to break out of that.
And she's trying to break out of that. And metaphorically, I think that's what she was doing also with the, being behind the fence and then coming out and then I think it made more sense definitely at the end when they had the We the People
and Skip Marley.
Skip Marley, who's
the grandson of Bob Marley.
Yeah, which I love that legacy was continuing.
I figured he was a Marley. I was looking, I was like, he doesn't look like Ziggy or anyone. I was like, maybe he's the next generation because I didn't recognize him at first.
Yeah, and neither did I. And so I had to do a little bit of
research because that's what we try to do here at AfterBuzz.
Yeah, we like to be educated
we
come to.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then at the end when she, whenever she, put her fist in the air and
they had the We the People.
We the People and I know. What was it? Not Love Trumps Hate. What it was. I definitely put it in my notes.
I just remember. I remember saying "We the People" because the montage had like the sky, fire. That's what I was kind of thrown off by. And then towards the end, when her and Skip come together, they hold hands, they raise their fist, and there's the "We the People" from the Constitution in the background.
Yeah, and I thought it was beautiful, and it seemed like you were saying, people, the celebrities tonight were using their platform to speak up, which I think is great, regardless of your political affiliation. Because I think that's what makes music so powerful is that you're communicating through song and through a different medium of communication.
And historically, music has represented the things that we're going through in life.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that. The was it the trumpet solo whenever. And one of the CEOs was talking about it, the foundation.
Oh, yes.
Referencing all of the
things that you're trying to do through Grammy Camp and reaching out to the president to make sure that music and the arts are maintained and they're celebrated like any other profession and interest is. So, the Grammy Camp is really good because one of the winners, what was it, her name? Marin Morris?
Oh,
she actually attended Grammy Camp 10 years ago.
That's what she was saying.
In her acceptance speech. And if you guys don't know who we're talking about, she's a country singer.
Marin Morris.
And I believe she won Best New...
She won Best New... she won Best New Artist. And then she also... So I knew her from her country song, My Church, because I'm from Texas, so I do have a little bit of countryside.
Shout out to Texas.
H-Town, where Beyonce is from.
Yes, you guys are going to always take that. And we're never going to take it away from you guys.
It's the closest I'll probably ever be to Beyonce.
For now. You never know.
For now.
You may get an interview one day.
Whew. Beyonce, I'm just doing all kind of plugs tonight.
I'm gonna speak that into existence for you because tonight the Grammys took us to church, and I'm gonna take you to church too.
Yes, they did.
But yes, Marin Morris, country singer, and actually this is my first time being introduced to her, and I'm loving what I'm seeing with her. Yeah. Her duet with Alicia Keys was freaking awesome.
And that's what I was amazed because I've heard her country stuff, and then I'd never really heard that side. It was like a very like soulful pop sound.
She's like musically fluid.
Yeah, and to sing next to Alicia Keys, she had to have been ecstatic, but also like about to pee her pants because it's Alicia Keys. Like I know that's how I would be. And her outfits, I know you and I were both like...
Yeah, I would take both of them. Alicia Keys came out like Diana Ross meets Elvis, and Marin was just in this kimono, one suit.
With the tights, like the glittery tights, and then like the...
I want those leggings.
The purple dress
whatever it was. Yes. Oh, please talk about that tomorrow, because that's one of my top favorite looks.
Yeah. Oh,
she rocked it. She killed it. I don't know her, and now I do, and I'm looking out for her.
Well, and speaking of artists that are now on my radar, so I obviously knew who she was, and I knew, so before the Grammys every year, I like to do like a little, I'm such a nerd, but I like print out the nominations. I print out the nominations, and I go through and like make my own little
Your wish
win
list?
predictions of like, okay, in a perfect world, this would win, this would. And I noticed a lot that Chance the Rapper was nominated for a ton of stuff, and I know it, like, I know he's got a lot of hits on the radio and stuff, and so I'd like to say that I'm like fairly familiar with all the big things that he was nominated for, but. I was blown away tonight. Like, I
have to say, hands down, that was my favorite performance.
He was my favorite performance too.
Chance, Kirk Franklin, and Tamala Mann. OMG to the freaking gods. Like, hands down.
Yes.
Over the tributes, over Beyonce. Sorry, guys. Beehive, don't be mad.
I know.
But his performance was... From his monologue in the beginning, it literally took us to church. I felt good. I felt
Sunday.
happy.
I went to church
It was,
twice
praise
today.
Jesus. And praise every other religion too, because we do not discriminate.
No, exactly.
But it just gave me good feelings.
Yeah, absolutely. Like from the acceptance speech, and then
and they tried to wrap him up in the acceptance speech. It was like,
that was hilarious.
I'm still going to talk over this.
I loved that. That was great. And then the performance at the end, with the whole gospel choir, I was giving me so much.
It was
life.
like a gospel song that Diddy just put some sprinkles on, because it gave me that Diddy vibe of back in the day, and I was like, this is
with that every step I take.
Okay, we're not gonna do that because I don't want to lose our viewers and listeners by singing. That's not what we do. We're gonna leave that to the Grammy winners attendees. But yes, that was definitely hands down my favorite performance. And so speaking of performance, on the heel of that, tributes. We lost a lot of musical icons this year. Some people, I didn't even know that we lost. I was kind of surprised. Thoughts about the tributes? I
was expecting more. I wanted.
I'm a big Bee Gees fan. We'll start with the people because we do have a surviving member.
Yeah.
I am a huge Bee Gees fan. If you don't know who the Bee Gees are, if you ever seen Saturday Night Fever with John Travolta, which I thought should have came out.
I
wanted John to come out.
And he was on in the beginning.
Awesome.
And I know he referenced that it's the 40th. It's the 40th anniversary of Saturday Night Fever. And so I was expecting that surely.
Man, that song is like his iconic breakout.
Well, and also,
even if you weren't born yet, you know that movie.
Everybody, like that movie, all the Bee Gees songs, those were my dad's car driving jams.
Those are
back
still
in the
my
day.
jams. They didn't have More Than a Woman. I don't know. I was underwhelmed. I just wanted a little bit more. The Bee Gees is a brand that makes you. If you saw the audience, everyone was getting up, everyone was dancing. It's just one of those bands that just makes you just want to have fun.
Well, and it's a band it was 3 brothers, and now the only surviving member is Barry Gibb. And maybe, forgive me if I'm wrong, but whenever it was showing his reaction,
really,
he didn't look like he was feeling the way I was feeling by the looks of it.
He was looking like how Prince was looking at the BET Awards years ago when people tried to sing his songs, and he was just like, oh, bless your hearts.
Like a little side
and
eye.
It's not like they did a bad job of performing their songs. I just think that the execution of everything else around it could have been more. And I wanted some things to come out, like I said, John Travolta, because this song was that's iconic. Like, you see John Travolta, you think about Staying Alive,
well, and I don't want to step on any toes because all the performers that they had come out,
they were great.
They were great. But
it's the Bee
I didn't
Gees,
really
it's
feel
disco.
like they captured the essence of the Bee Gees and that life and that zest and they're all talented, don't get me wrong, but I felt like it was just that. It was just in a way, I kind of felt like it was the Grammys kind of being like, okay, we got these talented
we have a lot
lineup.
of people to do tonight. We need to cut time somewhere, and this is one of those places.
Well, and also I kind of felt like with the performers, they're like, well, these people they need to sing. Let's put them
they feel like they just put them in.
Yeah, I didn't really feel like there was much thought or that it.
Yeah.
It was beautifully. But that's just it. It was just sung. I didn't think that it was performed.
That's a good way of putting it. There's a difference between singing it and there's a difference between performing it.
Yeah, and
I
the
like
heart
that.
in it. You know?
That's
and so maybe we'll move on to the next big tribute because I was really holding out for the Prince tribute.
Man,
may he rest in peace.
You could never give me enough Prince tributes, but I have still yet to see a Prince tribute that made me say, like, literally made me want to get up, put in my, because I have my Prince CD that I still listen to. That literally, I listen to Prince before I go out. Like, Raspberry Parade is like my song. They didn't even perform it, but whatever. Prince is an exceptional genius artist that surpasses pretty much anyone else
Just
in
a
the music
genius.
field ever. I don't think there's ever be anyone like him because of his and this is not a word, geniosity, but he's so many artists. Like, you can't pick one artist to do Prince. Like, you have to do like 10 artists, and no one's ever, from all the tributes I've seen, no one has done Prince justice, in my opinion. Like, no one. I'm sorry. Bruno did his take on it, which was cool, but when they had the time, I know it as Morris Day and the Time, and now I guess there's a time. The songs that they performed, okay, I know his connection to Prince, but I didn't feel like that was a tribute to Prince. Where was Sheila E? Where's the Revolution? Like, I want to see all these people come together and do a compilation and rock this out. Like, I don't feel like that. I think a Prince jam session that I've been told about from insiders who've attended his jam sessions at his house was probably more like performance, like you were saying.
Yeah.
You got to sing it. You know how we say black people, we sang. You don't sing, you sang. And you got to perform it. Like, you need all those things to really do this man justice.
Well, and like you were saying in the beginning, when it was, refresh my memory.
All the time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. When he came out, I mean, talented and it was fun, but...
It hit energy, but I was like, okay, where are my Prince songs?
But I
Where's
didn't
my
really...
Purple Rain? Where's my Dove's Cry? You know?
Yeah,
Pretty
Dove's
Red
Cry.
Corvette, you know, where's Diamonds and Pearls, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we both represent the young generation, and, like, we know those songs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know the people that, like, yeah, like, my parents and things I know they were at home, like, what is this?
Yeah, we know Morris and the Time, we know y'all, but, you know, this is for Prince.
Yeah.
And I can't really hold it I guess I can't blame them. It's not a blame thing, but I guess the Grammys, and also I'm not sure what rights to songs the Grammys may have, because Prince did, you know, make sure he retained his ownership of his material. So maybe that was part of it, because I know they're still trying to get stuff done with his estate. But I would just say, just hold off until you could do it right, because that's part of why Prince was an independent artist. He didn't feel like his music was getting its just reward, and he maintained his rights to it. So I think if we needed to hold off on it, we just need to hold off on it. You know, but enough said. Okay.
Not to be the stink of the party here, but another tribute was Adele and Remembrance of George Michael, which was beautiful.
Yeah.
But
it was a
I
nice
know
song.
when I was watching it,
yeah, you looked at me.
the door was open and, like, the sound was a little off, and so I was like,
Maybe it's us.
am I? And so I was trying to, like, I knew something was off.
You caught it, because I totally did, and I still don't get the difference. But my ear, I guess, I'm not a music
No, but
person.
I have, and that's my thing, is, like, I always had that little, like, bug in my ear that's like,
Yeah, because you turned and you looked at me, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Do I need to turn it up? I don't know.
And so, but I have to give her props because, first of all, I think that music should always be done live, no matter the circumstance. That is your profession.
And
that
things
is
will
your
happen.
job. That is your talent. And it's hard. It's got to be nerve-wracking, especially if you are paying tribute to
Connected.
such a legend.
Yes.
And the pressure. And so, you know, you could tell in her face that she knew something was
wasn't
wrong.
right.
And as a performer, and when I've sung in the past, never to that scale, so I can't even begin to imagine what was going through her mind. But like, you know, when something's not right, it's like you're in that rough spot of do I try to just fake it till I make it and keep going, or do I stop and restart? And I gotta say props to her because
She didn't walk off like
she
Mariah.
didn't-
Why you gonna laugh?
Where-
It was the truth. It wasn't a joke. That's the truth.
Where was Mariah tonight? Crickets.
That was the truth. My girl Mimi, I love you, boo boo, but you know what you did was not right. You should have done like Adele, like this is not right. Let's start this over.
But
and that's why you love Adele.
But Adele can actually. No, I'm not gonna. That's rude. I was gonna say.
Well, no shade with me. I like to speak the truth. There's no shade in the truth.
I gotta say, on a separate side note, Mariah obviously had her moment, but she's let me down for the past couple of years.
I've been hearing that.
Back to Adele. The reason for the season this evening. I think she had serious guts to and you could tell she was so upset. But she didn't let that stop her, and clearly, everything else worked out great for her this evening because she cleaned house.
She cleaned, she swiped, she mopped, she did everything.
Sprinkled some pixie dust.
Yes.
That the Grammys were hers this evening.
The Grammys was her biatch.
Yes.
It was her biatch tonight.
And that I don't know if we want to go to the end of the show already, but
we'll skip around.
We'll skip around, but I do want to come back to that because that speech at the end and when she was talking to Beyonce.
She's like, can you be my mother?
I love my mama so much, but
and then Faith Hill came in and said, "Oh, can you be my mother?" But no, I'm old enough to be your mother.
And then she was like,
"Look at Faith Hill."
I was like,
with her pink hair. Look at how gorgeous. I love me some Faith Hill.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but she's not that old either.
No. Even if you are, boo, you're like wine. You just got better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fine wine and good cheese.
Yes. And a handsome husband. You get it, girl.
I know. What a power couple. But just like Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Oh, and little Blue Ivy.
And her Prince. Her pink Purple Rain tribute.
And then when her mama was getting the acceptance speech, she was just over there like
in her
could
Hello
care
Kitty
less.
purse.
She was just in her purse like.
And she clapped. She was like, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, mom. My Hello Kitty purse was kind of more important." I feel you, girl. I'm a Hello Kitty girl too.
And what did you think about Beyonce's performance?
I loved it. It's very. I think Beyonce has done what Lucille Ball did back in the day with being a mother on TV and embraced motherhood and this process that she's going through. Beyonce took it to a different level, which I love with her music. Her music matures with her, and it's like she doesn't speak much or give a lot of interviews, but if you listen to her music, it takes us through her journey. Yeah. So I know for the Lemonade album, she channeled a deity, a Yoruba deity named Oshan, I believe. I may have said that wrong. If I did, my bad. I could spell it though. So this deity's fertility, wealth, happiness, and also mischievous. So that's where you get the yellow dress in, which I can't remember the video right now. But any event, so I got this very much so like she was channeling all these different gods and mother figures in like history and also in folklore, and we got to see that transition. And in her video, I think her visual album is what I'll call it for this for the Grammys. It's her mother, her, and Blue Ivy. If there's a part where you see three women and they're like in descending height order, it's her mother, her, and Blue Ivy, and then she has, she's pregnant with the twins, which I love that she does that. Which also, guys, for everyone that bought their Coachella tickets and are like, is she gonna perform or not? I think she just gave us a tease to what you can expect at Coachella. So we know she's still gonna be going there. She did sit in a chair, and for all you pregnant ladies out there, please do not recline in a chair. That's Beyonce with, production people behind her to make sure that chair does not fall, So but ladies, please don't.
I was like, don't harm the precious, perfect future Beyonce.
That's what you were saying. I was getting nervous. I was like, Beyonce, that chair's moving.
Those are future Beyonce juniors. Like, in the making, we have to preserve our future there.
So I loved it. I got a little bit, for me personally, her headpiece reminds me of, I grew up Catholic, so it reminds me of the Virgin Mary and the halo she would have. So yeah, that's what I say. She takes from different cultures and beliefs when all these things that she's representing.
Well, and I was going to ask, did you notice on her dress the beading? That it was like a, and I don't know, maybe a few AfterBuzzers out there can chime in and let us know. I couldn't get a close enough take on it, but it was definitely like going with that whole, goddess or I don't know if it was maybe like the Virgin Mary or what it was, but it was beautiful and it was so intricate.
Oh, was it applique in her stomach?
Yeah. Okay. And it was definitely like a woman figure, and I didn't know what the, significance behind it was, or if it was.
We'll try to see if we get a close-up of the picture. Yeah. Maybe it's a deity that I was talking about.
Okay.
We'll see.
Maybe, yeah.
But she definitely was channeling a lot of it.
I love her attention to detail and stuff like that, because I think that's the sign of a true artist and a true, true I was gonna say musician, although
Performer,
she is
everything.
a magician as
Yes.
well. She is everything. But just all those details and then just really thought provoking. And I think that's what stands out at the end of the night is
That attention to detail.
is that and that those little things that we're sitting here remembering and you know, people like us or people at home listening and watching and are gonna, you know, remember as well.
And that's what I think Adele was speaking to in her last acceptance speech, because she had a lot. She won 5. She took home 5 of her awards, and her last one, she talked about. She basically seemed like she was giving it to Beyonce and was speaking her praise and, you know, telling her thank you for just, you know, for what you're saying, being powerful to me and my friends and to my black friends. I was like, Adele went in tonight. She was just keeping it all the way real. I was like, Adele, can we be friends? Like, for real?
And we were saying, like, can Adele and Beyonce
finally do this deal that everyone's been
Please.
asking for?
Like,
just do it.
And their babies at home are so those lullabies.
Adele, you could, you know, bring the son from England to New York or wherever they're gonna move the Carters, and the Carters could fly over to England too, and you guys could record something. And
see, we're planning it all out for you guys. You don't
know,
even have to do any
of
of
the
work.
You could just hire me to be the purse watcher. Like, I could do this. $10,000 a day. I could do this. I'll babysit too. So yeah,
I feel like this has been like a show all about Beyonce and Adele.
Let's talk about everyone else.
But I mean, it's amazing because they've earned it. I mean, they clearly.
I mean, they were racking up a lot of the nominations for tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
They had
a little under the, you know, talking about like new up and coming artists that I didn't mention. I'm a country fan, but I definitely. I would say I'm more into like the mainstream, you know, Keith Urban, Carrie Underwood, stuff like that. But I noticed that there is an artist by the name of Sturgill Simpson, and he performed tonight. So talented, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't have much knowledge on his. I think this was his third album. Yeah, but I mean, it's got to be something to listen to because he was in with all the major contenders.
Yeah, because he was in the last category with all these big wigs, and we're like, hey,
Bieber, Rihanna, like,
oh gosh darn it.
Yeah, like I was like, okay, hold your own, like you know, good props to him. So that's kind of gonna be on my need to listen to radar, you know, which I think has been a great year for like that kind of like up and coming, breaking the mold.
I think more people are outside of the country world are starting to realize how awesome country music is. Because like if you listen, country songs, you know, they're deep.
Yeah. Yes.
I think country music is like underrated. Like people don't realize how like those songs go in.
I didn't have a pride for it, or like I will say my pride for my home state has grown so much since living here and in New York. Like you gotta. I think growing up, you always are like. It's just what you're used to and what everybody else listens to.
You take it for granted.
Yeah, you take it for granted. And so now I'm like, okay, I gotta give Sturgill some attention and see what he's all about.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm gonna give Maria Morris.
Yeah.
Her and also the Pentatonics, who did the Jackson 5 a cappella, which was super awesome.
That was beautiful. It was gorgeous. And speaking of Michael Jackson tribute, Paris. I thought
she came out political too.
She came. Yeah,
everyone just came out political out the gate.
Yeah. But I'm seeing more and more of her recently.
Well, you know, now she's modeling.
Yeah.
She's, I believe, starting to get her music career going. So she's coming out of her shell now. She recently she was battling some things, and she's, you know, coming to her own as a young woman.
I think I can't even begin to imagine the struggle and the things that she's been through. You know. But I love that she is speaking out, because I know that mental health and things are such important issues, and people don't talk about them enough because it's not what most people are comfortable, you know, talking about and letting it out for people to know, and so I'm really like excited to see what she comes up with and how she continues to grow. Yes, because I think she was beautiful. She was lovely to listen to, and you know, and yeah, like you said, gave her a little political plug there. So,
Oh yeah.
which is important, you know, using your voice. I agree.
I feel like she came out the gate from a babe because of her father protecting. Well, she didn't have the best idea of the public because of what she saw them doing to her dad. So she came out. She's been a fighter her whole life. So just love to see her continue to grow into a beautiful, strong young woman.
Yes.
So you keep up the fight, Miss Jackson.
Absolutely. And then towards the beginning of the night, there were where the two gentlemen decided to accept their award pantsless. Did you? I don't know. I don't think you were here yet, but you definitely you gotta play that one back because it was 21 Pilots, which I love. I think they're great. But the whole premise was that that I guess a few years back they were back home and you know, like obviously. I think they're from. I could be wrong. I want to say they're from Ohio.
So they're from the Midwest.
From the Midwest.
Okay.
Clearly not making money. Not where they are now. Were nobodies at the time, and they said they noticed they were all watching the Grammys in their underwear, and so they were like,
That's what we usually do at home.
Yeah.
We watch TV in our undies.
Yeah, exactly. No
Hopefully
pants
they're
are the best
clean.
pants.
Hopefully they're clean. Yeah.
And so they said, you know, one day when we do win our first Grammy, we will we'll accept it in our underwear. And so sure enough, all of a sudden they announced that they won, and they won best duo for "Stressed Out," which I love that song.
They
I think
apparently weren't stressed out if they wore their
yeah,
undies
they
to accept their
weren't too
Grammy.
stressed.
I mean, how did they look? I mean,
yeah, they were rocking them, you know.
it was presentable. I hope they were Calvin Klein's, something nice,
yeah,
you know.
I can't say
Were
that
they boxer briefs?
They were. It was a brief action.
Brief. They should have probably went boxers. Class it up a little bit, you know. That's what you're gonna do if you're gonna show your undies.
But
as a guy,
I can't say. Now that you say that, I wasn't like
wowed.
It wasn't like a wow. Yeah, it wasn't.
Okay, so maybe they should have put their pants on.
Yeah, but the thought was there, you know.
It's a cute story.
And I want to look into, because I noticed one of the members had the green hair, the bright green hair, and his date was her dress. I don't know if it was girlfriend, wife, whatever. I'll look into it, but her dress matched his hair, which I thought was interesting.
Okay.
And the dress was beautiful. You know, can't say I'd ever color my hair green, but to each their own.
I think green would be a nice color on you. You have beautiful eyes. I think green will come out nice. But
careful what you wish for. Next time I'm gonna come out with my green wig.
Okay, well, we'll see about that next time. Well, speaking of next time, guys, we had so much fun talking to you guys. Time went by too fast. We had fun. Your first time. Did you have fun?
Absolutely. Thank you guys. Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks for guiding me out the gate.
Hopefully I guided something right. But before we go, what were your any favorite parts of the Grammys?
You know, I gotta say, my favorite performance was Chance the Rapper.
Okay, we're both tied on that one.
You
We're still gonna just go
favorite performance. Beyonce. But what else is new? And overall, I liked that that people are using their voice and speaking out about things that are important to them while using their platform. So it's nice to see that people are using their, you know, no Kanye moments this year, which was...
Well, they kind of had, because James kind of teased to a Kanye, and then he gave us the president of the Grammys.
Which I loved. I loved that, like, little jab.
So cute plug, but yeah.
But,
cool.
But yeah, absolutely. So I think we got a lot to look forward to for next year. But what about you? What were your...
Yeah, basically the same thing you said, so I don't need to repeat it. Same here. So where can we find you on social media?
So you can find me on all social media at Brooke Lacey H, and you can also catch me tomorrow for the fashion segment, where we're going to cover all things chic from the Grammys, the best dressed, the worst dressed. So tune back in tomorrow.
And I'm Michelle Madison. You can find me on Instagram at Michelle_MadisonTV, and also on Twitter at MICH_MadisonTV. Make sure you catch me on Revenge Body with Khloe Kardashians here on AfterBuzz on Thursdays at 8. And also, I'm going to watch The Walking Dead now. Yes, it's back. Brooke, any other shows you want to plug before we go?
I am joining Dance Moms. Diehard Dance Moms fan here, so that's Tuesday evenings. And yeah, we'll cover all things Abby Lee,
and
dance and drama. So we'll see you guys then.
All right, thanks for joining us tonight, guys.
Thank you.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.